The long-standing tensions between India and Pakistan have once again flared up, casting a shadow over South Asia and reigniting anxieties that have simmered for decades. The two nations, both nuclear-armed and with a history of conflict, now find themselves at a critical juncture. The escalation has raised concerns across the globe, with world leaders and international organizations closely monitoring the situation and urging restraint from both sides. The recent surge in hostilities stems from a horrific terrorist attack in the picturesque region of Kashmir, a long-disputed territory at the heart of the conflict. The attack has not only shattered the fragile calm in the area, but also heightened fears of further violence. The incident has ignited outrage, sparked military posturing, and prompted a flurry of diplomatic activity on the international stage. Both countries have increased their military readiness, while diplomats scramble to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. As the situation unfolds, the world watches with bated breath, hoping for a peaceful resolution to this volatile standoff between two nuclear-armed neighbors. The stakes are high, and the consequences of miscalculation could be dire for the entire region. The attack, which targeted innocent civilians, has brought back painful memories of past conflicts and reignited old wounds. For many, the scars of previous wars and skirmishes remain fresh, fueling a sense of uncertainty and fear. It has also exposed the fragility of peace in the region, where even a single incident can quickly spiral into a larger confrontation. The delicate balance between war and peace hangs by a thread. With both sides digging in their heels and accusations flying thick and fast, the path to de-escalation seems fraught with obstacles. The coming days will be crucial in determining whether dialogue and diplomacy can prevail over hostility and suspicion. On a serene morning in April 2025, the tranquil beauty of Pahalgam, a popular tourist destination in Jammu and Kashmir, was shattered by a horrific act of violence. The town, known for its lush meadows and breathtaking mountain views, had just begun to welcome a new season of visitors, with families and travelers eager to experience its natural wonders. Suddenly, a group of heavily armed terrorists descended upon the scenic Baisaran meadow, indiscriminately opening fire on a group of unsuspecting civilians. The peaceful atmosphere was instantly replaced by chaos and terror, as gunshots echoed through the valley and people scrambled for safety. The attack, which lasted for several hours, claimed the lives of 26 people, including 25 tourists, and left several others injured. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, working tirelessly to help the wounded and secure the area, while the community reeled in shock and grief. The perpetrators, later identified as members of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, a Pakistan-based terrorist group, struck at the heart of Kashmir's tourism industry, sending shockwaves through India and beyond. The attack not only targeted innocent lives, but also threatened the fragile peace and economic stability of the region. The attack was meticulously planned, with the terrorists receiving support from local collaborators known as overground workers. These individuals provided crucial logistical assistance, helping the militants evade security forces and execute their deadly mission. The alleged mastermind behind the massacre, Hashim Musa, was a former Pakistani army commando with a history of carrying out violent attacks in the region. His expertise in guerrilla warfare and deep knowledge of the terrain made him a formidable adversary for Indian security agencies. His involvement, if confirmed, would further escalate tensions between India and Pakistan, raising fears of renewed conflict and casting a long shadow over hopes for peace in the region. The Pahalgam attack sent shockwaves through India, prompting widespread condemnation and outrage. The government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, was quick to accuse Pakistan of complicity in the attack, alleging that the Lashkar-e-Taiba operates with the support of Pakistan's intelligence agency, the ISI. India demanded that Pakistan take concrete action against the perpetrators and dismantle the terrorist infrastructure operating from its soil. In the immediate aftermath of the attack, India launched a multi-pronged response. It authorized its armed forces to take all necessary measures to defend the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Indian troops stepped up their vigil along the line of control, the de facto border that divides Kashmir between India and Pakistan. New Delhi also launched a diplomatic offensive, rallying international support for its stance and urging the global community to hold Pakistan accountable for its alleged role in sponsoring terrorism. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement in the Pahalgam attack, dismissing India's accusations as baseless and politically motivated. Islamabad maintained that it was committed to fighting terrorism in all its forms and had no interest in destabilizing the region. It offered to conduct a joint investigation into the attack and called upon India to refrain from any actions that could further escalate tensions. However, Pakistan also issued a stern warning to India, vowing to respond forcefully to any military action. It accused India of using the Pahalgam attack as a pretext to launch a cross-border strike and placed its armed forces on high alert. Pakistan also sought to bolster its defenses, receiving military cargo from its ally, Turkey. The Turkish government's decision to provide military assistance to Pakistan at this critical juncture was seen as a provocative move by India and further heightened tensions in the region. The Pahalgam attack and its aftermath drew sharp reactions from the international community, though responses were divided along geopolitical lines. The United States, while urging restraint from both sides, called upon Pakistan to re-establish direct communication with India and take concrete steps to dismantle terrorist networks operating within its borders. The European Union echoed similar sentiments, calling for de-escalation and dialogue. China, Pakistan's all-weather ally, urged restraint and dialogue, emphasizing the need for a peaceful resolution through bilateral channels. Beijing also used the opportunity to reiterate its stance on Kashmir, calling for a settlement based on United Nations resolutions. Meanwhile, Turkey's decision to side with Pakistan and provide military assistance drew criticism from India and its allies. The incident really highlighted the complex geopolitical dynamics at play in the region, with various actors pursuing their own strategic interests. To truly understand the gravity of the current situation, it's essential to delve into the historical context of the India-Pakistan conflict, particularly the long-standing and deeply rooted dispute over Kashmir. This region has been at the heart of tensions for decades, shaping the destinies of millions and influencing the politics of South Asia. The Himalayan region, known for its breathtaking beauty and rich cultural heritage, has been a bone of contention between the two countries since their independence from British rule in 1947. Its snow-capped peaks and lush valleys have witnessed not only natural splendor, but also the scars of conflict. Both India and Pakistan claim Kashmir in its entirety, and their rivalry over the region has led to 3 full-blown wars and numerous smaller conflicts. The ongoing military presence and frequent skirmishes have made the area one of the most militarized zones in the world. The roots of the dispute lie in the partition itself, which saw the creation of a Muslim-majority Pakistan and a Hindu-majority India. The mass migration and violence that accompanied partition left deep wounds and unresolved questions about identity and belonging. The princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, with a Muslim-majority population, but ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, faced intense pressure to join either India or Pakistan. The Maharaja's decision would determine the fate of millions and set the stage for decades of unrest. The Maharaja's initial hesitation and the subsequent infiltration of Pakistani tribesmen into Kashmir triggered the First India-Pakistan War in 1947. This conflict marked the beginning of a cycle of violence and mistrust that continues to this day. The war ended with a ceasefire line that divided Kashmir, but the underlying dispute remained unresolved. The legacy of this division still shapes the lives of those living in the region, fueling ongoing tensions and uncertainty for generations. India maintains that Kashmir is an integral part of its territory, legally and historically. It accuses Pakistan of sponsoring cross-border terrorism and fueling separatist sentiments in the Kashmir Valley. India argues that Pakistan's actions violate its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and it has vowed to defend its interests at all costs. Pakistan, on the other hand, views Kashmir as a disputed territory and supports the Kashmiri people's right to self-determination. It accuses India of human rights violations in Kashmir and seeks a resolution to the conflict through dialogue and international mediation. Pakistan maintains that it provides moral and diplomatic support to the Kashmiri struggle for freedom, but denies any involvement in terrorist activities. The current standoff between India and Pakistan has raised serious concerns about the possibility of a full-blown war between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. The risks of escalation are high, and even a small miscalculation or misjudgment could have catastrophic consequences for both countries and the wider region. The international community has a crucial role to play in diffusing tensions and preventing a disastrous conflict. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of external actors like China and Turkey, who have their own strategic interests in the region. Their actions, while driven by their own calculations, could inadvertently contribute to further escalation and make a peaceful resolution even more elusive. The Pahalgam Attack and its aftermath serve as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in South Asia. The international community must urge both India and Pakistan to exercise restraint, refrain from any actions that could further escalate tensions, and engage in meaningful dialogue to address the root causes of the conflict. A lasting solution to the Kashmir issue will require both sides to demonstrate flexibility and a willingness to compromise. It's time for India and Pakistan to move beyond the rhetoric and engage in a sincere and sustained dialogue to find a peaceful and mutually acceptable solution. The world is watching, hoping that wisdom and diplomacy will prevail over hostility and violence.